Mike Baker joining me now. He's a former CIA kind of guy and he's with us this morning. What kind of military action could be taken in Nigeria, Mike?
It would be extremely complex. Yeah. Look, I don't know about you. I didn't see us returning to the Crusades in the year 2025. And so I'm a little bit concerned because what we're talking about, or whether it's Boko Haram or the Islamic, State in West Africa province or other Islamist groups, they operate in sort of this vast, lawless territory, right? And they move sort of seamlessly in and out of other countries that neighbor Nigeria, Chad, Niger. And so, without the support of the Nigerian military, without a coordinated effort where we're closely liaising with the Nigerian military and government, you don't want to underestimate how complex this would be.
It seems that our military is spread all around the world with various tasks and missions. Are we spread too thin?
I would argue we might be moving in that direction. And one indicator is that the U.S. Army just confirmed that they're moving a combat brigade from the 101st Airborne out of Romania, moving them back to Kentucky, not going to replace them. And whether that's because they feel they need troops elsewhere and somehow they're thinking, okay, maybe we can pull out from Romania, and that's not going to somehow send a terrible message that Putin's going to interpret as, okay, the U.S. is backing off. I don't know. But I do think that we have to have a more cohesive, coherent, overall military strategy, right? We can't just put out fires wherever we see them, right? We have to say, okay, here's our priority, and that should be national security of the United States, and then go from there to prioritize where we actually put the U.S. military into action.
Set me straight on this, just a point here. The 101st Airborne is one of our principal combat units, isn't it? And they've been withdrawn from Romania. Again, I have to go back to this. Doesn't that send something of a signal to Putin?
It does, and it will. Look, you can never underestimate how individuals like Putin or Xi Jinping from China, the Iranian mullahs, how they interpret our moves. Nothing happens in a bubble anymore. So you can't just say, I'm gonna move a brigade here, and somehow, the nation states that don't have our interests at heart aren't going to interpret that in a certain way. All of this is like this big chess game. So I guess all I'm saying is, you look at the Caribbean. We've got a vast number of resources deployed to the Caribbean right now. And I'm all about turning the war on drugs, which we called a war on drugs for decades and never really wasn't a war on drugs. I'm all about being aggressive, right, and trying to stop the cartel actions. And there's no doubt Nicolas Maduro is a narco trafficker, he and his minion, right, and they're an illegitimate government. But I do think we need to be better, or the White House possibly could be better at messaging and explaining the overall strategy here.
Okay. Mike Baker, I'm sure the president will take note of what you've got to say.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, he will.
He wakes up.
He will.
Every morning, Stu, he wakes up and he says, I wonder what Mike's thinking.
No, what's on Fox today? That's what he's saying.
That's true.
Mike Baker, you're all right. Thanks for joining us, man. See you soon.